So...
First episode of CosplayThirys.
It only took 2.5 hours of fighting with the computer and downloading program after program to try to figure out what would work. So hopefully this isn't a complete cluster.
Well, I'm not controlling it, so it won't be a complete
cluster. Don't even
yeah.
blame me. That's not fair.
I know, that's why it's not a complete cluster.
Oh
yeah, but our intro, that is Mr. Joe from over at PJ Cools and his band, Sleeper. You can find him on Spotify and Apple iTunes, YouTube. On YouTube, I think it's Sleeper Ghost Tracks, and that one is called Rock Me Donna.
It's my favorite out of all of them that Mr. Joe played for us, but yeah.
Yeah, great ice cream place. We go there, we do cosplay there as different characters. Part of our Just Rescued cosplay, which is, we'll get into why we called our cosplay page Just Rescued, and more things.
It's been a long day. Yeah, PJ Cools, it's at 6160 Transit Road in Depew, so be sure to check them out and tell them we sent you. Yeah, so why should people listen to us?
I have no idea.
You have no idea?
No.
Well, that's not fun.
Well. I just like how deep in desire we have for the world of cosplay. The good, the bad. Me without a mask, ugly.
No, stop. No. So why do you cosplay? So let's start square one, because people are going to want to know our why. They want to know why we do this. I mean, we're adults, 40 and 37, dressing up as superheroes and 80s cartoons and all this wonderful stuff.
Well, I always like comic books, superhero movies, and all this. Mm-hmm. Then went through years, always found it fascinating. Then I went to an event where there was a charity organization there. Took my son who has a kidney disease, and just so he can look at cars because he loves them. And I got approached by one of the characters there, and he saw my tattoos and goes, "Oh, I think you'll be good for this." And this one sitting over next to me here was there.
That's me, for those who don't know, because we don't have video yet.
Not yet.
We're working on it.
Once a month we'll be doing a live video.
Yeah, that'll be fun, so stay tuned for more info on
What's going to be recorded live from? I have no idea yet. But
in costume.
In costume. We'll let you guys pick the cosplay. We'll put it on one of our social medias, or our new social media for CosplayThirys. But, so yeah. Went home, thought about it, and I was like, you know what? That is a great idea. So I contacted the organization and was looking for characters to do. And I'm a big Arrow fan from the CW. And Stephen Amell's one of my favorite actors. So I was like, you know what? And it was also the cheapest costume I could find. But I ended up not buying it from a site. I ended up buying it from a fellow member. And we'll just go, the rest is history from there, because I went from doing it as one character to probably, I have no idea how many characters I do now, but numerous characters, which we'll get into. But yeah, so seeing my son's face light up from the characters, then I realized that that's something I want to do for other people, other kids who are sick, or adults who just want to say they don't like it, but they do.
You see the parents' faces, and a lot of times they are
dragging the kids over to take the pictures because they want the pictures themselves.
Come on, Brittany. Come on, Johnny. Let's go take a photo. Yeah. No, I don't want to, Mom. But no, it's cool.
Yeah, so my why comes from my son, but it stemmed into more than that. It also became a good thing for my own mental health, like to just go out there and make people happy, as long as like myself too. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my why. I just want to make myself, as long as everybody else, happy.
That's a good why.
And why not?
And why not? Yeah, I would say that. Oh, I've been doing it a long time. The first costume I ever made was Black Cat, but oh my God, what year was that? 2007, 2008. I don't know. I got really into comic books, and that kind of was, I will say the only good thing that came from a prior relationship, aside from my youngest child, was learning about comic books and pop culture. And it got really into Spider-Man, specifically Spider-Girl, and didn't know how to make a Spider-Girl costume, but made a Black Cat costume. And it made me feel pretty empowered, and it was fun, and it was something that I saw in the comic books, and you couldn't buy it in the store. So I was like, oh, this is really cool. But I didn't really get into it for a charity aspect until 2019. I, like you, was at an event, a local Comic-Con, and somebody from a local charity group approached me and said, hey, you're wearing a costume. Do you want to do this for the greater good? And I said, yeah. I started off with two costumes. I had Black Cat and I had Spider-Girl, and it wasn't even the official Spider-Girl costume. It was Tom Holland. What was the first movie? The Spider-Man.
Homecoming?
Yes. It was that suit, and I wore it, and the rest, as they say, is history. Started with 2 costumes, and now...
In this household, we probably have about 100.
Or more. Including in my oldest child's costumes, too, because they're all pretty much in the attic upstairs. Our little cosplay cove. But yeah, I did it because my kids were younger at the time too, and seeing them get all enthusiastic, it didn't have to be Halloween to dress up, and we would dress up in the house and whatnot, and take pictures, and then being able to kind of see those kids' faces light up and the smiles that would happen, and like to your point, the parents would come over and get more of a kick out of it, and a lot of times than the kids. It's fun, you know. I like it, and you dress for the job you want, not the job you have. Banking's boring. I work in a bank.
I work in a factory. Never want to be a factory worker, but here I am.
No.
But it pays for what we're doing now, so
yeah. So
do what I got to do.
You know, so we have a pot to piss in.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, so that's pretty much our why.
Well, to add on to that, why I continue doing it is because that's something my mom always loved that I got into, because I've always loved superheroes, and she knew that. So as soon as I started doing that, she like jumped on it, like one of my biggest fans. So yeah, I said this before on a thing, and like, it's not about the likes. I'm like, well, kinda is, because that's a like I'll never get back, but I know it's always a like I'm gonna have.
Yeah, unfortunately, John's mom passed away suddenly, May 1st of 2022, the day after a convention that we were both at.
That I got to have a table at and sell 3D prints at. That was another passion that strived up from cosplay, because I wanted to make my own stuff, and I got 2 left thumbs, and I don't really make a lot of good stuff, so in order to do that,
you make awesome stuff. I got
it. Well, no, I'm just awful. We'll get into that too. But that's when I started doing that, and I love the 3D printing, and I hate it at the same time, because it works and it doesn't work. But I'm not that great at it.
I'm here hearing him curse at the printer while I'm working from home on certain days, and it's not funny, but it's charming because I love how passionate you are. At the same token, he was probably, cursing those machines like I was cursing this laptop about 3 hours ago almost.
Well, I am Cap, so I'm not really good at electronics, so yeah.
Yeah. So for anybody who does podcasting, who is choosing to listen to us, we apologize in advance for the lack of polish. So if you want to give us some advice, you can tweet us at CosplayThiry, THIRY. Yeah.
Oh, which we get into the name. I know I kind of said it in a live I had on Instagram and TikTok.
Sorry, we're a little all over the place tonight, too. We really didn't have a proper agenda.
No, proper agenda. It's kind of winging it. It's basically what I do in my life. I just kind of wing things. Usually
it works.
It works out pretty good sometimes.
The planning
was it
50%
100% of the time? Yeah.
Is that what the saying is?
I have no idea.
I don't either.
Anchorman 2.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, so basically when I was a kid in school, because my name sounds similar to Thiry, it's spelled a little differently, we cosplay, and it's like, well, it's kind of a little take on my last name. Kind of how I'll get into why I was just awful cosplay for a while.
Yeah.
Because somebody didn't like that I was doing nothing with certain people, so they said all my cosplays were just awful. And
Which they're not, by the way.
I've been told.
But you're not.
No, I've been told that they're not awful. But yeah, so I just went with it, and I use it as a reminder that not everybody's a nice person. Well, especially to your face, they're nice, but behind your back, you're not. But yeah, we're not going to get into that. It was more of a uplifting, positive type thing.
Yeah. No, we are all about positivity. We don't want to rehash any bad, uncomfortable situations that may have happened in the past. But in any community, whether it's cosplay, whether it's music, whether it's any fandom.
Movies, which we still have to see the Turtles movie.
Ah, you are all over the place tonight.
I'm all the place all the time. This is my head.
I know.
Welcome to it.
Just a little glimpse of what you guys are in store for. What was I saying?
I don't know. I just went ahead and rambled.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay.
No, okay, so in any fandom, where I was going with that is that there's going to be people who are glass half empty and negative. So a big motto of our podcast is really just about positive things and being encouraging and uplifting, because there's enough garbage and crap in this world. You know,
I would rather watch a cartoon than the news right now.
Yeah, we don't watch the news, which is pretty unadult-like, but then again, we dress up in costumes, so...
Yeah, I got gray in my beard. I can be Old Man Arrow soon.
You should.
I should.
You should.
I'm going to do the old, like, Green Arrow, Green Lantern, with that O'Neill and...
What, Grell?
No, not Grell's. Man, I'm drawing a blank right now. Wow.
We'll Google it.
Yeah.
That's what technology's for, Cap. Go ahead and try.
Technology.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna go do the old school Green Arrow. The one looks like Robin Hood. That's kind of what I want to do in the future. And I have a friend who thinking about helping me out here. He's a good kid. I call him kid because I'm technically old enough to be his dad. His name is Vinny. If you check out his social media on Instagram, Big Belly Burger Productions.
He builds some amazing things. He sketches all these cosplay ideas and then he makes them.
Yeah, and he looks, if you ever watch The Bat in the Sun, he's like a spitting image of that Batman, and
Isn't it Kevin Conrad?
Yes.
Okay.
Not Kevin Conrad. Well, Kevin Conrad's the voice actor
from
Batman.
Sorry. Well, what was the guy's name? He always talks to him. Sorry, Vinny.
It's okay.
I know, I don't know. All right, while you're looking that up. Yeah, I got nothing.
Nah, it's okay. I mean, like I said, he makes great costumes. He's fixed my Flash costume to actually have all the gold matching. He's fixed my
Reverse
Flash. And it looks so much better now with how bright the yellow is. And I just can't think of enough. And it's Kevin Porter.
Kevin Porter. I knew it was Kevin.
Yeah. And
give me credit for getting half of it right.
He is, like I said, by far one of the nicest people I've ever met in my whole life. But you should definitely go check him out. And I say "and" a lot, just to let you know. Because I try to think about what I'm going to say.
That's all right. We can talk. Well, let's talk about some fun stuff then.
All right, so we have Steel City Comic Con coming up soon. We did Niagara Falls Comic Con. We did the Trailer Park Boys. I didn't
do the Trailer Park Boys.
Well, you did one of them because I was Julian.
Well, I didn't mean cosplay. I know. I was being funny.
I know. I was being funny too because I said I was Julian.
Yeah, I did then.
Yeah, we got to tell them that too.
What? We got to meet the Trailer Park Boys, and like John said, I was dressed as Ricky, and John was Julian. And it was a fun time.
Bubbles got a kick out of it.
I know. We got to sit in the shipmobile.
Huh?
Yeah.
Good times. And then we had a wedding, Nick and Jen's wedding.
Yeah.
I got to wear a kilt for the first time.
Yeah.
I didn't wear it traditionally. I had underwear on.
I checked. He's good. He wasn't commando.
And then the next day we went back to the con and we were Green Arrow, and you got to debut your Black Canary.
Mm-hmm.
Which I, by far, is one of my favorite pairings because I love the Green Arrow character. I was wearing the final season suit.
Yeah.
And you were more of the comic book.
Mm-hmm.
So it was great. Like, we got some pictures done up from Cosplays for a Cure.
Yeah.
And later on in the day, we also switched back to more Marvel. We did Captain Carter and Captain America. I had my Endgame suit on. It was the first time wearing it.
Yeah.
And it turned out pretty good. People got a good...
It was a good reception.
Really
we had
good
a lot
reception
of people. We saw our friends from the Superhero Alliance of Western New York.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to them. We are both members of that group, so they're pretty amazing. And
that was my first time out of the country for a con. And, you know, it's only like a hop, skip, and a jump over the Rainbow Bridge, but still, it was an amazing time.
Don't worry, for those of you who are not local, the Rainbow Bridge, it sounds like a Thor thing, but it's not. It's just the bridge to Canada.
Whole new world.
Yes. Okay, so the topic of cosplay costumes then, and you brought up a bunch of them from Canada. If you had to pick one favorite and somebody didn't give you a choice to wear anything else for the rest of your cosplaying days, which one would it be and why?
I would say Cap.
Okay, which one? Because you have multiple.
Oh, yeah, I do have multiple. I'll say my stealth suit.
Okay, so why that one? What does it mean to you?
Well, being Cap, I don't know, I do John Walker too, but I am by far that character.
You are the antithesis of John Walker.
Well, being Cap just means you're willing to lay down anything you can for those who you love and those who you like, which is friends, family, even the little guy. But it's, I don't know, I just feel a sense of not empowerment, but like responsibility wearing that suit. So it's like you can't be a dick. That's when I wear Deadpool, but still.
It's true. He did at our wedding.
Yeah.
And that was pretty fun.
Oh, that was fun. I had a friend who left here really quickly before I even put that on.
Oh, no.
Yeah, little Jeremy.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and the stealth suit. I always liked the stealth suit. That's always my first Cap suit. But I didn't know at the time that's also Chris Evans' favorite suit. So, yeah, it has a little place in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got like a not so good suit that was I could say the company. What was it? X-Cozer.
Mm-hmm.
That suit wasn't so good, but somebody here and myself are going to turn that into Zombie Cap.
And my oldest child, who is currently on their phone Googling or texting the boyfriend. You're watching what? Watching Miraculous Ladybug, another cosplayer in this house who does many things like Wednesday Addams. Shout out to my oldest child. Hey! As they smile. All right, so if you had to pick a runner-up then, so we got Captain America stealth suit.
Oh, I'd be Deadpool.
Without even hesitation.
I mean, Green Arrow's my first one. That's not my favorite one.
And why is that? I know the answer to this, but I think everybody else should know.
Deadpool? I get to be myself. I'm a wisecracking. I'm a smartass.
Better to be a smartass than a dumbass.
I've been called that too.
But you're not.
But Deadpool's one of my favorite ones.
See, I would have thought you would have said Lionel.
Oh, Lionel is up there for a certain reason.
Yeah, because Mom loved it.
Mom always loved that I love Thundercats. And she always told me, oh, you should do a Thundercat. That's too hard. The day after she passed away, I contacted the person from Super Geek Designs because I seen they had the file. Mm-hmm. So I bought the file. Did not know how to get the suit made. Talked to them and they got it made. When they were getting it made, I bought the wig, I bought the makeup, I made the sword. With my 3D printer, I went through and I made the claw shield. And from there, as soon as it came in, this one over here decided to do Chitara.
Well, let me tell you why, because when you posted all of that stuff online and the reason why you loved it so much. Now, first of all, we were both 80s kids, so we both watched the Thundercats growing up, like many of you probably have as well. But it was just so inspiring to read the tribute to your mom, and the reason why, because I'll be completely candid with you, is I never got that support from my family, especially my mom. And it was very touching. I really wish that I had something that my mother was like, oh my God, I love this so much. And I never got that. So when I read that, I immediately, because of the charity cosplay groups we're in and whatnot, I was like, you know what? I loved that show just as much growing up. And that's okay. Open your beer. If you hear the can, that's what it is. But I immediately went online searching for Chitara because I had wanted to do that as well. But I just never really had a reason to, because Chitara on her own, yes, people will recognize, but it's like, it's one of those things where it's better together as opposed to like certain characters. Like if somebody were to cosplay, I'm not saying this is negative, but if somebody were to take Spot from Spider-Verse and just cosplay it on their own, people are going to look at it and say, why is that guy just Spot? But if you have a Miles Morales and you have a Peter B. Parker and you have a Spot and you have a Glitch, or what's her name?
Spider-Gwen?
Spider-Gwen.
Ghost Spider?
Yes, thank you. It works better. But I can really appreciate where you're coming from with that why. And it was touching.
And funny thing is, I just got a request from my dad yesterday, but she never showed any kind of like interest. She just says, "Oh, cool." Apparently, for his birthday, which is next month, he wants me to do the 66 Joker. So
you can't tell him no. It's his birthday.
I didn't tell him no. Now I have to get the 66 Joker.
Well, I have the 66 Catwoman.
That is true.
So we can be villains.
Well, some people think I am, or we are. So,
yeah.
But still. What's that Batman quote?
Which one? There are many.
You live long enough, like you could die a hero, or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. I'm just kidding. I do Reverse Flash. He's one of the worst anyway. So.
Do I do any villains?
You just said Catwoman.
Well, I do. Okay. Well, no.
You do two
but
of them.
She's kind of like
Poison Ivy.
Yeah, but you think of like villains as, you know, like Bane.
Poison Ivy.
Yeah, I know.
She wants to destroy the whole world and make it. Well, not destroy it.
That's true, but she's hot. I'm not, but she is.
No, you are.
No.
Environmentalist. You are beautiful.
It's warm here. Yeah. But cosplay plans then. So Joker's on your list sooner than later.
What's not on the list?
I know. Everything's on the list. It's just finances that hold us back.
Yeah.
We need to win the lottery.
Well, I got tied up in that Macari app.
Oh, let me tell you, for those of you who are cosplayers and do not want to spend brand new prices,
don't go on the Macari app.
Yeah.
No. I mean, like, I don't want to lose anything.
Well, you need to give them a fighting chance.
I know.
Mercari is great. I mean, tell them the Ant-Man story.
Oh my god! So this one does Wasp, and
that's my new name. It's not Amy. It's that one or this one.
This one's my favorite. Which one's your favorite? That one.
So yes, I got Wasp from an amazing cosplayer in Western New York, Sue Morlino. And her daughter Emma. They were selling it because Emma wants to do Cassie Lang, and to put the money towards that. She's more of around Cassie's age anyway, and I'm more of Wasp. So long story short, I got this costume. I had it. Most of the costumes we have pairings for, because we like to pair up when we do events, or if we have a gig to do, or an appearance to do. We like to do characters that can play off of each other. So I get Wasp, and immediately this one says, I need Ant-Man.
Well, after watching the movie, not many people like Quantumania.
It's a great family movie.
It is a great family movie.
I cried.
It's great. And I needed to get Ant-Man. I don't have that. Ant-Man suit's expensive.
Yeah, Sim Cosplay, which we love.
I love Sim Cosplay. Just some of the stuff,
it's expensive.
Well, I bought my Batman from there. I got a new Batman coming for my birthday from that one right there.
You're welcome. It's not here yet, but...
So, I was on the Macari app. I found somebody was selling Ant-Man in my size. Boots were about a half size too big. I'm like, whatever. No one's going to really notice my boots. And they said did not come with helmet. I'm like, all right. They wanted like $200 for it, $2 something. I did like the offer thing, and then I messaged them to see if they would take lower. So $120 plus shipping.
Which is amazing just for the suit.
Brand new.
And boots.
You can't send them back even if it doesn't fit. So I came to the house. I opened up the box. I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
I'm at work this whole time.
Perfect. Sends the receipt from Sim Cosplay and everything. I'm over here looking at the box. I'm like, there's another box inside of here.
What's in the box?
Yeah. Well, I'm like, oh, it's just a spacer. When I opened it, it was like a kid on Christmas morning when I seen the helmet in it. I was going to message Amy or send her a picture or a video of me on it. And Grayson goes, you can't wait. I don't leave surprises. I have to.
We have no patience. Those of you
patience.
who know us, we don't wait. We want something, we go for it. There's no reason.
So long story short, I went through. I looked at how much the suit cost with helmet and boots. It was like $420 shipped. I paid $120 plus like $140 almost with shipping.
That's
for
incredible.
a $420 Ant-Man suit. Now we have another pairing, and I love it. So, yeah. Sorry, I did interrupt you.
You didn't interrupt. I love that story. It's a success story.
Which is also where I got Ronan from, because I needed to do Hawkeye.
Well, okay.
I love Jeremy Renner. It's just, I'm more of a Stephen Amell Arrow fan, but that's my favorite version of Hawkeye is Ronan.
See, and that puts me on the fence. I have 2 versions of Black Widow, but I don't have Endgame Black Widow. Now I could get the suit, the white suit, or I can get
don't really have
the one from Vormir.
I don't have that Hawkeye though.
That's true.
That Ronan, because he turns back to Hawkeye and has a different suit.
You gonna let us shave your head?
Oh yeah, I'll shave my hair.
You're gonna do some other stuff to your hair too.
Oh yeah, see, we're all over the place today, but
that's all right. Our next episode will have a little bit more of an agenda.
We didn't know this was gonna happen 100% today, so. But yeah, so breast cancer awareness is in the month of October. I have my aunt right now. She's stage 4, I believe, breast cancer and lung cancer.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people in my family have had breast cancer. So I am going to raise money, or we're going to raise money for breast cancer. Like I would say, like 75% of the proceeds are going to go through the Susan
G. Komen
Foundation for Breast Cancer, and I will show receipts and everything. And the 25% we're going to use towards like stickers and cards and
for kids when we go
to do any kind of like appearance. Like we do stuff for Dave and Adam's Card World over on Sheridan in Williamsville. We do appearances there every now and again. Mm-hmm. And we might be doing Batman Day. I'm not 100% sure. He never got back to me.
Well, if and when we get confirmation, we'll announce it here as well. But just like the other day, we went to a daycare, and those kids just lit up.
Yeah, we were Spider-Man and Spider-Gwen.
Which is a new one for me that I never thought in a million years that I would do, but here we are, and yeah, that happened.
Speaking of Spider-Man and Spider-Gwen, the kids are going to PJ Cool's
on August 12th.
5 to 7 as Spider-Gwen and Spider-Man.
It runs in the family.
I just got to finish doing
making a face shell that's
going to be out of flexible filament, something a little different. I made a flash helmet for somebody with that stuff, and it came out beautiful.
Yeah, it was cool. It's expensive, that filament, but it's worth it when you get it working right. It feels like silicone? Almost.
Yeah, basically it feels like a silicone.
Without the smell.
Yeah. These printers don't have much of a smell. Like I know the other printers do. We'll save that topic for a different day. I know, because we're kind of all over the place right now. A little excitement because we were in Jersey over this past weekend for our vacation.
Talk about New Jersey.
And I got to meet people that inspired me to do this, because I wanted to do this a couple years ago. I love the show Comic Book Men. Yes. I love Kevin Smith, Brian Johnson, Walt Flanagan, Mike Zapsik, and Ming Chen, and Q
from Impractical Jokers. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I have a history with these fellas because back when Tell 'em Steve Dave started over a decade ago, I actually was friends with a former girlfriend of Brian Johnson's who was nice enough to allow me to spend a week with them with Brian and his family in New Jersey. A week after she had spent a week with us in Niagara Falls. We became friends at that point. It was during the, I don't remember what season it was when they were recording Comic Book Men, but we were, going up and down Red Bank and spending a lot of time, just hanging out. And, over the years, never really lost touch with Brian, and got to hang out with Q on my 38th birthday in Bryan, which was really fun, out at the Dublin house in Red Bank. And I'm still, we'll get back to New Jersey in a second, but I'm still amazed, if I could just dial it back to my 38th birthday. Q from Impractical Jokers has to be by far one of the most kind-hearted, I would say, celebrities. He's a celebrity, right? Everybody knows him. Back in 2012, I saw him at a live show, and he had asked, he's like, "Are you going to be here for the show the next night?" And I said, "No, I don't have tickets." He literally put my name on a list to come back and see the show. Now, I drove an hour and a half to go to this show by myself. The next night I got there and my name wasn't on the list for the first show. So he made it right, and he felt awful. Cut to my 38th birthday, over 10 years later. Well, yeah, about 10 years later, he recanted that whole entire story back to me. He remembered me. He remembered the situation. He remembered that he sent me a vinyl cast as a I'm sorry for it. Like,
that's like a truly good person. It's like to feel remorse for something that happened like that.
He did in the email, because he told me, he's like, I email me here when you get home. I want to make sure you're safe. That's classy, for one. Two, the next morning, he was like, "I was drunk. I'm sorry. Let me make it right." And I told him, I said, me just being able to meet you and see the show was thanks enough. You owe me nothing. He goes, "I know I don't owe you anything, but I want to do this." So, again, cut to, now, our trip in Jersey. You could tell you're part of the story. I'm sorry. I don't know why I went on that tangent, but I still find that.
Well, you got to meet all these guys. Now, I got to meet Mike at the stash, because that's something I always wanted to do, is go to the secret stash.
Yeah.
And I got to go meet them.
Which he, ironically, he was off that day, technically.
Yeah, if you watch Clerks, he wasn't supposed to be there. Yeah. And the funny thing is, it was my 37th birthday.
Snoogans.
You'll get the reference if you know Clerks and Kevin Smith and all that. But I got to meet him that day. I got this one. My beautiful wife Amy bought me a nice Jay and Silent Bob shirt. I bought a nice comic book, which I'm probably going to post on my Facebook probably tomorrow, because it's Green Arrow and Black Canary get married. And it was... Yeah, it's on the table right here.
Oh, no. It is. It is. Let's see. It is Green Arrow and Black Canary Wedding Special, first issue. It's a really cute cover.
I don't think you can pick me up like that.
No, I can't pick you up.
Okay.
I'm weak.
But, yeah, and we got to go to Red Bank. What was it? The last day we were there, we went to Tell 'em Steve Day Studios.
Yeah,
and just before we left, we wanted to stop there, so I got to meet Gidim. We were looking at the studio itself, the old table that was at the stash. We got to sign the big green felt wall, and
this one's a newbie to Tell 'em Steve Dave, and we got a lot of catching up to do.
Oh, we listened to a lot of it. It made the trip so much faster. Those almost 7.5 hour drive was great.
Yeah, I would say a lot of my inspiration for wanting to podcast and get back into it, aside from you, because I love talking with you about things we love, is those guys, because
that's why I want to do this from the Comic Book Ben show. Yeah. It's like I just felt like this. Like I would seriously just watch the show with them, just sitting, bantering with each other. It's like
BSing at the table,
breaking each other's balls. It's like I love that.
Yeah, I think they're an inspiration for a lot of people for that reason.
And I don't think they know that.
I think by now I would think they would know that, but if they don't, they do now. We could send this to Brian.
I send it to Brian. We're gonna just send it to Brian.
What the hell am I gonna listen to these guys?
I can send it to my brother. No one knows him though.
Oh jeez. Yeah. Well, you know, it was a good time. And the funny story is that we went Sunday through Wednesday, and the Tell 'em Steve Dave Studios is technically closed Monday and Tuesday. So Wednesday we went to leave, and we're like, you know what, we have a little bit of time. We don't need to rush home. We don't need to be anywhere until tomorrow morning, so why not go? And we went. And it was funny because the door's locked, and there's a buzzer on the door, and I was nervous because I'm like, the door's locked. Do we buzz? And kind of stood there for a minute, and Get 'em did open the door after and graciously let us in, and their hospitality is pretty amazing, like super nice.
We're looking at all the memorabilia there. Like I said, the table from the old stash, and the new felt wall. Yeah. Looking at all the merchandise. I was looking for a shirt. Amy was going to buy me a shirt. Next thing you know, the door knocks, bell rings. Here comes Brian Johnson.
You should have seen the look on your face. I wish I would have had my camera out, but yeah, I swear I could see what you were thinking. You're like, this isn't happening. Like, this isn't happening.
Things happen for a reason. I know it sounds very like, oh, you get to meet him, whatever. But as we were about to leave, same thing. And in comes Walt. Mm-hmm. Looks totally different from what I've seen on the show, but...
Oh, it's been a few years.
Like, it's not, I mean, like, he grew his hair out a little bit.
Yes, his hair is much longer than it was.
But he seemed like all about what he was doing, and that's how he was in the show.
They were going to record that day, so they were on a mission.
Hugh didn't end up making it to that. We read later that day that he had, like, motorcycle trouble, but...
Yeah.
Still, like, if you don't know who Tell 'em Steve Day is, do yourself a favor. Go look them up because
on iTunes.
Yeah, they are awesome. I just became a Patreon member so I can listen and watch some other stuff. And as my stupid self decided to go puff paint a whole Spider-Man suit the other day.
You're gonna have a lot of time. I told you not to puff paint that suit. It's gonna take forever.
It's my favorite Spider-Man suit. It's Andrew Garfield, Amazing Spider-Man 1. That's also your son's favorite suit. Besides Spectacular Spider-Man, that's his favorite live-action one, he said.
I understand that, but it's hot in that garage, and it's hot outside, and it's a tedious process. Your hand hurt after just doing what you did.
I did the whole mask and most of the front.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I'm only going to do the red. I'm not going to do the
too much work. Oh. I mean, I'm not saying it's not worth it. It'll look amazing. Pun intended.
I did the Garfield suit, but I only did the silver webbing. Not the greatest, but it makes it look that little bit better.
I know, it gives it that dimension. And
which is why I also like doing the 3D printing, because the face shells make the face look like how it's supposed to.
I feel like it's very rare. Let's get on this topic now. I feel like it's very rare that you can find a cosplayer who can do Spider-Man and not need to wear a face shell. This is a topic.
I got a beard now.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to do like that Spider-Man character without it. My face, you can see my nose, my ear. I got big ears.
Yeah, it's a face shape thing.
Yeah, and it's like the Garfield one. If you just like the face, it just like perfectly molded with the face shell. And I found the Garfield one, and it looks so good with the face shell.
Yeah, I will say, like, I'm the first person to be able to make fun of myself, especially if I know something's not perfect. So I by no means am saying this to belittle anybody who cosplays Spider-Man and chooses not to or doesn't for whatever reason. I know my face shell for Mayday right now, and I know you're making me one for Spider-Gwen. It doesn't go over my whole head, so it cuts off at a point, and where it does, the back of my head, I've seen pictures of me as Spider-Girl, and I'm like, oh my god, my side profile, I look like I got a cone head. But, so, again, I can make fun of myself for that all day long, and I'm not saying it to be derogatory. But I'm just saying, like, and you would think with a facial, even just the one around the mouth, it would make it so much easier if you want to talk to someone, because you're not worried about, like, sucking in the material in your mouth, and that would be uncomfortable, too, I feel like.
Well, cosplaying Spider-Man is something that I never sought out to do. Mm-hmm. That also goes back to my why, because my son loves Spider-Man.
Oh, Jay. Yeah, I remember when I met him the first time, I was Spider-Girl, and he was just, like, all about it. All about it.
Oh, he loves Spider-Man. I actually won him a couple costumes from Sim Cosplay. Mm-hmm. Miles Morales, and it was just the Far From Home suit, which he grew out of, so I'm going to have to get him another one eventually, soon.
Yeah.
But I bought the Homecoming suit, and as soon as I put it on, first words out of his mouth, "I love you." It's like he got like so excited. So I went from that suit. So I technically have all three Spider-Man suit. Mm-hmm. So I I found like I'm more, well, not really. I'm more of Andrew's age, but so first Spider-Man live action movie, Maguire. I remember going to the movie seeing it, so I was like, I want that suit. So I found that suit, and I got that. I put it on. I loved it, so I made the face shell, make it more. Then I did the puff paint, made it more. Then I wore it to birthday parties for my nephews,
Aiden and Gavin,
and my friend from work. Did his birthday party. Well, his kids, obviously, not him.
Hey, we don't judge in this house.
Hey, if anybody wants to have Spider-Man there and want me as Spider-Man, I'll be there. Or Deadpool, which I've done. I've done 2 in one day because I had a former friend back out of my nephew's birthday party, so I ended up doing both characters. I was there for a little bit as Deadpool and there a little bit as Spider-Man, which we're both going to be doing Deadpool, Lady Deadpool and Deadpool at their birthday next month.
Yes.
So we'll have pictures of that and maybe have a little bit of video.
I think between you and my son, Vinny, well, you have 3 suits. I don't know. How many suits does Vinny have?
We don't count because he has all of them.
God, he just got Spectacular Spider-Man, and I don't know if that one's finished yet, but it's almost. But that's his favorite.
Well, he has one from No Way Home, too. The final suit that... not the final suit. The one before. The one... A little bit of the nanotech mixed with Doctor Strange.
Oh, there's so many spider suits between all of us. I have 2. I have the symbiote Spider-Girl, and I have Spider-Girl. And you have 3, so that's 5. No, I have Spider-Gwen, too. So I have 3, you have 3, so that's 6. Grayson has Spider-Gwen. And another one. You have the Tom Holland one. Mm-hmm. So that's just within this house. Not to mention...
We are the Spider-Verse family.
We are. I don't hate it one bit.
No.
I love it. Yeah.
Also, we are Asgardians. Jane Foster.
I think if we went through the whole list, we'd be here another 45 minutes.
Yeah, we won't do that.
We could.
Yeah, we could. Different show, different time. We'll go through why we do each character.
Yeah. I think, yeah, if I had to pick one, I don't know if I could pick a favorite.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, we didn't do that. Like, what's one character that you would do?
See,
and why?
There's different reasons. Like, there could be, favorite character because of comfort, because you forget a lot of the female costumes.
No. I didn't go for comfort. What's your favorite character to do and why?
Oh, I don't know. Let me think about this because I don't think I used to be able to answer this.
We just bantered about a whole bunch of other things in between this, and I did not want to forget about this, so I'm happy you brought it back up. I answered on the spot.
Yeah, I don't want to answer in the same vein for people to think that, oh, she's just saying that because of your answer. But quite honestly, I think... I really do think it's Captain Carter, and the reason why, because Spider-Girl is always near and dear to my heart. I love Spider-Man. I love Spider-Girl. I love the fact that Spider-Girl series in the 90s, that 90s run was the first comic book I actually got into. But she's a teenager, I don't feel as much of a connection as with Peggy because there's a lot of layers to Peggy. You get, Captain Carter, who is strong, and she, in that multiverse, got, the serum, and she was told that she couldn't do things, and she was told that she was inferior to these men who were doing all these things. Well, she proved them wrong. She took the serum, and she became, what Steve did in his universe, like the little guy, right? But she had her own battles because she was female. But to say that too, Peggy Carter from the first Avenger movie and from, her series, she always proved herself. She had to battle because she was female and she was a woman, and people underestimated her and they told her no, and they didn't want to listen to her because she was female. I think there is something to be said that I've been told pretty much my whole life. I can't or shouldn't or won't become somebody that I want to be because it's not what somebody else wants for me, or because I'm female, or because it's just not my place, or it's whatever the excuse was, doing stuff for everybody else. And then Peggy finally said, I'm going to do what I want. And she was stronger for it. and she could beat any of those guys' asses if she wanted to. And she proved it.
Beat my ass whenever you want.
Oh, jeez.
So what's your second?
Oh, Lord.
Hey, I didn't even have to think.
Yeah, I know, but like I said, I was surprised, and I know it was Deadpool because I see your personality come out when you are Wade, and you have no filter, and it's fun because that is the guy that I knew that was hiding behind that quiet smile when I met you, and I'm like, there's got to be more to this guy. And when I first heard you crack your first joke, I'm like,
too.
What?
I'm like an onion.
Yeah, like a stinky onion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Shrek.
Yeah, right.
Good to that birthday cake. Birthday cake's got layers too.
You know, but it doesn't have a lot of layers. Birthday cakes mostly have like one, maybe two. You are
wedding cakes.
But what if they're cupcakes and they're like side by side? I have a point. Not all cakes are created equal. Onions always have layers.
That's true.
Yes. I would say then my second choice would be Spider-Girl for that reason, just because of the fact that it was one of the original ones that I did, and the fact that I love comics, and like Jay with you, my son Vinny loves Spider-Man, absolutely loves Spider-Man, obsessed with Spider-Man.
Everybody loves Spider-Man.
Well, no, I mean, this kid who texts me at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning with multiple suits and ideas and TikToks and everything else, Spider-Man, Spider-Man, Spider-Man.
Even before we got together, he would message me those things.
Yes, I know. I'm saying he just loves Spider-Man, and it's a family thing. It is. We're a family of spiders. So that would be my second choice, and why.
All right.
Yeah.
Like I said, more episodes to come. We'll talk to other people or discuss cos plans for the future.
Mm-hmm.
We'll discuss why we do certain things. We'll discuss like
events that we've been at.
Like this weekend coming up. Technically, Sunday's like over. So
next weekend
we're going to Steel City Saturday and Sunday.
In Pittsburgh.
I was gonna do Cap, but strap's not all together right now, so I am going to be Batman, and my new Batman won't be here, unfortunately. Michael Keaton's.
Unless some cosplay wants to get on the ball and send this DHL stuff out like now.
Well, yeah. Oh well.
We'll see.
There's always more. My Robert Pattinson suit. That's was one of my favorite suits. I'm not gonna get into the whole which one's my favorite Batman.
You don't like sparkly Batman?
Well, he wasn't sparkly. He's just the worst vampire ever. It took him how many years to turn to a bat?
Oh.
But
he went there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I 3D printed the cowl. I love the suit. I used it for a lot of different events. I used it for birthday parties, and I have never wore it. Well, actually, I did wear it to a con. I wore it to Flower City last year. But
that's in Rochester.
Which we are going to this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure what characters we're going to be for that yet. But I know for Steel City, we're going to do Batman and Catwoman from Batman Returns, Michelle Pfeiffer's. And then we are going to do Ant-Man and Wasp.
I thought of a new topic for next episode.
Okay.
Common problems cosplayers have with their costumes.
Yeah, like not having pockets.
Or, well, having to go to the bathroom and having to undress pretty much all the way.
Dumb and Dumber, just go.
No. Not when you pay $400 for a suit. We won't get into that too much more now. We'll save it for next time. But yeah, so for those of you who would like to follow at Twitter, it's at CosplayThirys. It's CosplayThirys. Instagram is CosplayThiry. Singular, not plural. And Facebook, we don't have a Facebook page yet, but you can follow our cosplay page at Just Rescued Cosplay, which is there. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please send us questions or topics that you want to hear, or if you want to be a guest and you're local and you know us, let us know.
And like they say at my work, any bitches and gripes, go to HR.
We don't have an HR for those of you who don't realize.
You can still go to them.
Yeah.
All right, so this is my theory, and
Yeah. And you're mine.
so stay tuned.
Little girl, I got you on my mind. I think about you all the time. Only you who can rock me now. Listen up, I think you ought to know. It's not a fast, not a one-man show. You got the shoes, let's dance the night away. Can't rock, can't roll without you. Won't leave, I can't live without you. You're all that I want, and I gotta say. Rock me down, all through the night. Rock, rock, rock me. Rock me down till the morning light. Rock, rock, rock me. Rock me down like you never rocked me before. The little girl, she's one of a kind. Madonna makes me leave the rest behind. No, I couldn't leave you if I tried. No one could ever love you like you do. One you love, you know I'll never lose. First time I saw you, I knew you'd be mine.